Henriette, and this is an interesting one, and Corey as well, your views be valuable as well. Who is the ideal person in the call center or the contact center to become the Callbi Champion? The person that we will train up to become the Callbi Champion. So I think we'll come back to you, Henriette. Corey, your view on that. Who is the ideal person that you are engaging with? And I'm going to ask Henriette the same question.
Rod, so I think there are two aspects to the question. The first one is typically what we would term the Callbi champion or practitioner. The person building the queries and the dashboards and driving the insights, predominantly, they need to understand the business of the business. So they need to understand if they see something in the conversation, the relevance within the contact center, and, is it important? So it's not somebody from IT. It is somebody with the, background in that contact center. They need to be able to think logically, and typically, some of the best Callbi champions are those who are comes from a business analyst type of background, can think logically. They've got a QA background, so they can drive through those insights, but it doesn't need to be, it's not technical. They don't need programming experience. They need the business experience.
Okay. Henriette, your experience now, because you are intimately involved with starting up and onboarding customers and getting them through that initial training and then into optimization. So you've had, 25, almost 30 years in call centers. So in your view, who is the best person to come aboard as that Callbi champion?
Thanks, Rod. I want to tie in with what Corey said, and it's definitely not just the technical skill. It's not a person who's only used to writing code. We've compiled through the experience where we've worked and seen people who are very successful in the role. We've compiled a bit of a profile or a key strengths, and I want to share that, and I'll chat you through. That will give you a good idea of what the ideal and what we call the recommended key skills for your Callbi champion, and that would be the person who is writing your queries, building out your dashboards. So if you can confirm, I'm just sharing that document.
I see your screen.
Are you able to see? Perfect. So very much you'll see, and this is the skills profile of that person. So
excellent.
Analytical skills. It is someone that needs to be able to look at data, see the patterns, draw conclusions from those patterns that they see. Being able to solve a problem, so problem solving. So again, as you can see here, it's not those technical skills. We're not saying it's somebody who must have a SQL experience or writing code or doing things like those. Process orientated, because remember, this is, you start with A, you go to B, you go to C, to make sure that when you build that query, it's robust, you get the result, and you are able to repeat it over and over again. Detail focused. So it must be someone who wants to go into the detail, be organized, look at what's being productive, understand the causes and the effects of situation. And it's back to what Corey said. It's being able to see and find the things, not just looking and not interpreting in what you are seeing. Willingness to learn, which is a key thing that I've picked up. That need to learn, somebody who's curious, somebody who wants to break it down and wants to find the answer. That is almost one of the key skills that you need in a person, because this person needs to sit with a blank slate. They need to say, what do I want to get out of Callbi? And how am I going to get that? And what am I going to do with that? Then also quality and experience in the operations. Like Corey said, the person needs to understand quality, how it fits together, the impact on customer, your compliance side, but also very much your operations. They need to know what needs to happen within that operational environment. All of that together then makes that perfect Callbi champion.
The transition from being a quality and a quality assurance person in a call center who may have been doing QA for several years, is that the right sort of background to become an insights analyst, a Callbi champion? And does the Callbi training take them into a different level?
Right, it definitely does. So part of that process is also that change management, to say, previously as a QA, you were used to probably getting getting a checklist or getting a sheet and told what to listen for. Now through this training, we start showing what can you get, what can you build, what types of insights can you do. Not every single person is ready to go and be the ideal Callbi champion. You will find through the process, you will identify certain people, and that's where I also give inputs. We've got an assessment that I can put them through where I can show you the strengths, who's ready to become your ambassador, as we will call it, or your champion, and then who would be the QAs that supports the process. So like Corey mentioned, there's two roles. You'll get your champion who builds, who does, but then you also get your QA or your insight analyst who needs to use the results. So they won't be building the queries, but they need to use the results. They need to go check on those calls. They need to provide feedback. So yes, to your answer, the training process supports it. I support the process by giving feedback, and we have the assessment available where we can say, you know what, based on everything we've done, this is where we need to give some more, or maybe this person is not the ideal, because you will find maybe that key strengths is not for the person to be the champion, but rather supporting the process, checking the calls where Callbi can't do those things.